I really tried to get an explanation as to why Tim Mullen downloaded Don Wells' phone. I think it is a fact now that he did in fact download the phone. Here is his explanation. We tried to download the phone once at the Wells house. The phone had glitches and kept locking up. All his pictures from California, Utah, and others were on the phone. I was the one at the courthouse. I took Don. We were escorted by the police to the courthouse to protect us from possible protesters that might be there. As we were entering, we were not allowed to bring in our phones. Don handed me his phone, something he has done before, and I put it in the car, and it slipped down into a big box. This was his private phone. No one else's. Remember, I was the only one there close to Don for the hearing. Others had reasons for not coming. When the outcome happened, Don gave me that last look. It was a bit staggering and very emotional. They immediately ushered me out of the full courtroom and back to my car, and escorted me to the exit of the property. My intention is simple. 1. Back up Don's phone to save his stuff. 2. Keep the phone until Don gets out of jail, and then hand it back to him safe and sound. I'm not an iPhone person, so it took some time to finally get it backed up. It would allow a few pictures, then lock up. I would reboot and get a few more pictures. Over and over. iPhones drive me crazy anyway. Finally, after searching programs, and then Google researching, I saw that a person has to download iTunes, and then use that to back up the phone. Years ago I tried iTunes and all it did was lock up my computer, so the whole iPhone thing has never been my favorite. I'm an Android person and they are much more flexible and easier to use for my brain. Finally I did the iTunes thing, and did what was supposed to be a backup. I assume it worked. As glitchy as the phone was, who knows if the backup is functional. Then I set the phone down to wait 6 months. When I would see Don step out of the jail, I would hand him back his personal phone. Once I was asked about the phone a couple weeks or so later, I felt it best just to give it to them. Yes, it was in a baggie to protect it from scratches, etc. This is Don's phone. Don's private stuff. As everyone can see, that phone became a hot potato. Can you imagine if it had gotten into the hands of the unscrupulous? So in one way, I am glad it became a mega issue, because it put the clamp of safety on the phone, and let everyone who doesn't understand how advanced the TBI is, to be a piece that the TBI knows all about it. Don showed no concern when he called from the jail about the cell phone, when we talked on the phone. So, like millions around the world with cell phones, I simply backed up the phone for Don. It is safely put away. I was also told by those who checked it out, that law enforcement was not interested in the phone.